Welcome to another installment of Mars Anomalies, brought to you by the HiRISE camera on board the Mars Reconnaissance orbiter. We're looking at new anomalies I discovered at a new site in the southern mid-latitudes of Mars on the Plains of Planum Chronium. Let's have a look at the anomalies. There's a ton of stuff in this one, folks. The HiRISE photograph in this one is called Candidate Recent Impact Site, acquired on the 8th of December 2022 at a resolution of 25.8 centimeters per pixel with 1:1 binning. The images I cropped from a JP2 black and white map projected file, 465 megabytes in size. And there's a look at the low-res black and white. And there's the impact site. We'll have a look at that up close as well. So the site we're analysing is located right here, folks, on the Plains of Planum Chronium at approximately 61 degrees, 40 minutes south, 139 degrees, 9 minutes east. And there's the impact zoomed out, not to scale. You can see the impact was quite severe. Left quite a trail over here as well of debris and dirt. And there it is at 1:1 scale. Strange white material visible over here, folks. Nothing else like it in this photograph, so I'm not quite sure what this white material is. And also it looks pretty much like a rectangular part over here to the right. Take a closer look. Check this out, folks. Not your typical meteorite, well, in my opinion. Anyway, check this out. It's quite weird. Got like odd-shaped pieces here. What came down over here? A piece of abandoned technology. Who knows? Or just a meteorite. I don't know. We need to take a closer look at that. Looks like a deep hole over here as well. Could something have vented out over the surface, out of that hole? Check out the disc over there, smaller disc on the top. Lots of these rectangular blocks or slabs in this photograph. But let's zoom in on this item, which is about 15 meters long. Check out the long, narrow, rectangular part to it. Uniformity in its width and height. Something strange sticking out here. Looks almost like an elbow joint. Check that out, folks. And then this almost like a scoop on the front. And there's a quarter disc shape here to the top. What could this be, guys? Could it be some type of structure, some type of derelict machinery or technology? So here looks very odd. I think I'll do a 3D render of this soon as well. Up next, we're looking at the strange semi-tubular or cylindrical part. Let's take a closer look at that. It's about 8 meters long. Check out the symmetry and geometry of this rounded shape on the one side. 90-degree angle and a very sharp, defined edge. Almost like a bevel. We're looking at this oblong oval part. It's about 12 meters long. The uniformity in the width. And then it's almost shaped like a cocoon or a tic-tac. Not that it is, folks. And we're looking at the block over there in the center, which is about 6 meters long. Check out the parallel sides, 90-degree angles to it, and then the usual suspect, the knob in the center. And there's another one right there, folks. partially buried, covered in dust. Let's zoom in on it. Check out the straight edges, parallel with one another, the right angles, another wedge-shaped piece over here, 90-degree angle, and on this block we have the usual suspect as well. One of my subscribers, friend of mine, actually calls these the building blocks of life. That's a good one. There we're looking at another one, folks. It's a bit longer, but the same width, and also almost covered over in sand and dust. The right angles, parallel edges, and then a strange smaller part there in the center. I don't know what that is. Photograph breaks up quite badly in some of the parts. Then we're looking at the slab or block over here, about 18 meters long. Also partially buried in the sand. Got the straight edge, right angle there. And then a dome-like conical object there in its center. And there's what I speculate is a similar block, but it's embedded at an angle. Check out the sharp edge to it. Very smooth, flat surface, and the 90-degree angle over there. Here's another one, about the same length. And this one's more upright. Check out the uniformity in the width over here. A rounded design if you look at it edge on. And another block over here, folks, possibly one next to it. Let's zoom in and check that out. And this looks like another block underneath it. There's another smaller block over here on the left. Another good example of the blocks in this photograph. This is about 10 to 12 meters long, and it breaks up badly as well when you zoom in on it. Right angles, parallel sides, and then the rounded design on the bottom left. We've seen lots of these. They look almost like huge tombstones. Another block over here, folks. This one's about 12 to 14 meters long. And it's got a strange rounded shape over here to the right. But then nice right angles to it over here on the left. And then the uniformity in the thickness on the one side there. Here we have another block or slab. It's almost a perfect square. Check out the wedge shape to that part over there on the top. Let's zoom in on this. It's almost got a perfect square shape to it, but it's got these rounded edges. It's a very strange item, and then a slight spherical dome-like protrusion in its center. Looks almost like a lid. We're looking at a similar item there, and again breaks up quite badly. Check out the straight edges and right angles. Looks like a pipe lying up here on the top, and it's parallel with this one side as well as this piece over here. 90-degree angles to it. Could that be some type of structure, outpost? Maybe some type of industrial plant. Check out the block over here to the right as well. Don't know if I feature this one. Just thought I'd highlight that quick. Here we have a similar one. So the right angles and then the smaller part in the center. This is a weird piece. It's got two knobs or protrusions on it, and it's about 18 meters long. Check that out. Again, straight edges and right angles. And yet again, we have the appearance of the three small parts arranged next to one another in a row on top of that block. And that is very commonplace on Mars as well. Depictions of these rows with three smaller parts as well as triangles and T shapes. Check out the small disc on that part. This is about 10 meters across, folks. And the rounded part on the top. It looks almost as if this is open over here. Could it be a hatch, entranceway? Not sure what to make of that, folks, but it's parallel with this one side. We'll zoom in on that area of this image, take a closer look at the strange parts over here. It looks almost as if that is an opening as well. Another disc shape, very similar to the one we looked at previously, on top of this piece that looks highly metallic. Then we get to these larger parts with these small items in their centers. Zoom in on this piece. It's about 15 meters across, and the small part in the center. So many of these in this photograph. Similar one over here, folks, about the same size. And right there, I don't even have to mention these anymore. They stick out like saw fingers. And yeah, that is repeated. Here we have another one of these square shaped blocks or slabs, and a small part arranged on top, parallel with this one side. This looks almost like a statue or a sculpture of sorts. And then another one of these smaller disc shapes. This one's more perpendicular on that part. Small little conical feature on that block. Check that out, folks. Right in the center again. Another object with a small protrusion in its center. There's another one over here to the right. Check this out. It's a rounded shape. And then this looks as if it cracked or broke off in the past. With the small part right there in its center. And that is on that part as well. This is about 8 meters across. Check that out, small dome-like part in the center. And there's another similar item there, folks. This one's a little more rectangular, and also the small dome-like part on the top. Right, let's shoot down to Planum Chronium, to that site. And at the time of this video, the high-rise photograph had not been loaded to Google Earth Mars yet. So let's briefly check those out once again for summary. I wonder if we're looking at some debris and wreckage here as well, from whatever might have broken up and impacted there on the surface, and a combination of blocks, slabs, technology, machinery. Just have a look at some of these that I found some time ago at that site. Again, check out the similarity in design. There's another one of those, almost covered over slabs or blocks. These can't all just be natural. There's got to be some type of artificiality to these. But then again, I could be wrong. Check out the slot over here. And that concludes this episode of Mars Anomalies. Let's have a chat in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think of these. Take care, everybody. I'll see you in the next one real soon. Ciao for now.